Oh, you're absolutely bloody joking. You're joking, I'm not even on the bloody right screen. Proper bangingly annoying. Anyway, hopefully we're live. I don't even know if we're live. We are live. Great. We're absolutely live. Thank you very much. Welcome, everybody. I'm gubbing on to myself. This is the brilliance of live streaming. You never quite know when you actually are live when you think you might be. But I am live. That's great. Good to see. We are live. Thank you to H4SSS1. We're live for Jose Mourinho's first game in charge of not of Manchester United. We don't want to go back there, anybody, do we? We're in charge of Spurs. It's against West Ham. Interestingly enough, Spurs are currently in 14th place and West Ham are currently in 16th place. They are separated by 1 point. However, a win for Spurs would take them up to 17 points, level with Arsenal. And a win for West Ham would take them up to 16 points, level with Manchester United in 7th. So there are points win prizes in this case. Mourinho is out on the pitch, but I think the most important thing you probably want to know first of all is, Mark, what's the team news? And Mourinho live watch along is what we're doing. Let me just get the tweet out. And it's a big game. It's a big game, and we're looking forward to it. So we are. Let me just put this tweet out, and then I'll do you the team news. How are you all doing? Well, I hope you're all doing well. This Saturday lunchtime, it was a game that I think was rather interesting, but has definitely taken on a level of interest that many of us would not have expected a couple of weeks ago. Anyway, we'll start off with the West Ham team. Roberto in goal, Fredericks, Diop, Agbona, Cresswell, Rice, Yarmolenko, Noble, Snodgrass, Anderson, Haller. Decent team. Tottenham, Gazaniga in goal, obviously no Lloris, he's injured. Aurier at right back, Alderweireld and Sanchez with Davies at left back. Not surprised by this at all. With I don't really know what Pochettino was doing. I think it was so mixed. But not surprised by this at all. I think Davinson Sanchez has got Mourinho written all over him. Not literally. And then his midfield, no surprises here. Eric Dyer comes into the team with Harry Winks, Lucas Moura, Dele Alli, Son Heung-mon, Son and Kane. And I think that when you look at the bench for Spurs, Sissoko would be a regular for Pochettino. Lo Celso is a signing of his. Eriksen on the bench. But I don't know the situation. I don't know whether Ndembele's injured, Sessegnon's injured or what. But I think that in many ways, the way he has lined this Spurs team up with 2 holding players in Eric Dyer and Harry Winks, and then Dele Alli in behind with the width of Son and Moura, I think straight away, you know what? I know there's a lot of Spurs fans out there that do miss Pochettino, and I totally get that. I totally get that. But in some ways, I think Mourinho is a simplifier, isn't he? He simplifies things, and I think that Spurs, for me, whilst they're a good team, Spurs play this sort of 4-2-2-2 thing, 4-2-2-2-2 thing with Jose Mourinho, with Pochettino, and I think with Mourinho, he's gone and done something that I like. I like width, and Mourinho does like width. It might be defensive width at times, but I do like width. And I think that for Spurs fans, that is something that you're probably going to be able to relate to rather quickly, the fact that he will use the width. So I think that's a real positive for you. We're just going into the United Stand studio for a moment because I just want to copy something into here. That's for tomorrow. That's all set for tomorrow, that is. That's the United Stand studio ready for you tomorrow. But for today, we're not in the United Stand studio. We're in the That's Football studio. And I need to just add in this to get the timer, which will be very, very useful when it starts. So the game's about to kick off. And yeah, look, my prediction for today's game, 2-1 Spurs. 2-1 Spurs. But I think Spurs, interesting to see how they play today. You know, Mourinho, I know it, Chelsea fans know it. Mourinho is a defensive coach at times, but not every game that Mourinho managed for Real Madrid, for Chelsea, for Inter Milan, for Manchester United was a 0-0 game. That's not what happened. So it is going to be interesting how that works out. I've just realised that the timer's not in a very good place. Why is the timer like that? Let's put the timer up there. There we go. That's a good thing. We've put the timer under the subscriber counts. We have adapted on here today. So the game has kicked off. We're 25 seconds in. Let's get a feel of this game early on. We've got a couple of super chats coming in. Come on, West Ham, beat this pub side. And show Jose made a mistake joining London is red. Arsenal fan. And Red Baron says, in 3 years, Spurs will be in a ruin. He ruins every club he goes to and makes himself look good. He's not charming. He's the Donald Trump of football, ignorant, and people follow him blindly. There you go. Strong, strong words. But, you know, I do like the fact that Spurs have got some width today. I've said that a couple of times, and I will keep saying it. I like the fact that they have a bit of width today. I think that that's really, really important in the modern game. And it's interesting that he's got both Moura and Son in the team. And Moura's just had a little bit of a run there, but Mark Noble makes the tackle. Of course, we've not even spoken about the fact that if Pochettino was to lose this, Pellegrini was to lose this game, he may end up losing his job. So, but, you know, like night follows day, I think you always expect a bounce when a new manager comes in. And Spurs certainly did need a bounce. London derby to kick off Mourinho's reign, says Purple Patrick. Any chance of taking your Todger out for us, says Hayden Bay. Oh yeah, I really could do with a YouTube ban on this channel that we've built. I'd love to do that. I also depress you all for the weekend when you see how big it is. But hi Mark, hope you're well. Watching from Australia, says Suprith. Good, good start to the weekend. Brilliant to have football back. That's what That's Football's all about. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. Please do share the video, get involved. We're watching... Watch along for Spurs versus West Ham. I was going to do City versus Chelsea, but I'm on the True Geordie kickoff. So if you want to watch the kickoff later on, I will be on the True Geordie. I've got to get in the car straight after this, go down to London and get in the studio for that one. So we're doing Spurs West Ham because I always want to do a watch along every Premier League weekend. So Spurs West Ham wasn't that appealing to me, but I think with Mourinho back, it's just intriguing, isn't it? It's intriguing. And Aurier just gives the ball away there, but quite a 50-50 start. We've got an offside there. Trouser Snake Goldbridge, says GB5. You've been following me in the toilets again. Funny this Mourinho's first game is at the stadium where I became Mourinho out for United, says Clark Ellison. Exactly. I totally agree with you. That I was the same. That was the game that did it for me. That's a tragic for midfield, says Jay Costa. Harry Kane onside. Offside. Goal. He scored. He was slipped in by Dele Alli. The linesman's gone with his flag. I don't think there's going to be much of an appeal here, but Harry Kane, well, he's offside there. He's offside there. He's offside there. And he's offside there. He was offside the whole way through that. Good finish by Harry Kane, but definitely offside. The timer is where the subscriber count is in the top left-hand corner if you're not able to see that. Buster Nut says his wife loves width. And definitely offside, says Sally Devil Revan said yes. Dele Alli is overrated, says Narration. Well, that midfield's very interesting, isn't it? Because it's an English midfield. It's Dele Alli, Harry Winks and Eric Dyer, which is interesting because he could have played a non-English midfield of Sissoko, Lo Celso and Ericsson. So... But am I surprised that Mourinho's gone with Dele Alli? No. Because if you don't understand Jose Mourinho because he's not managed your club, he infuriated me as a United fan and his obsession with Fellaini. So it doesn't surprise me in a million years that he's picked Dele Alli because what you get with Dele Alli is a bit of physicality, isn't it? So, yeah. Anybody who's struggling with the timer, you see where my head is? If you go about a metre to the right, you know that number that says 4:27, 28, 29? I've got a funny feeling that might be the timer you're looking for. We're 4.5 minutes in. He's bought Eric Dyer back, says Freddie Mercury. Exactly. I'd love him to sign Matic, but why would he? Why bloody would he? Mourinho and VAR, GIF makers get ready, says Alligator. Yes. Dele Alli is another Lingard, says Abassi. And Mark, do you think Jose is an undercover agent from Chelsea to move from one club to another and muck up each one, says Zayn Miassi? Well, you better be glad. Well, you wanted him at Arsenal, so you better be glad then in them circumstances. But Spurs have started off the better team here. West Ham a little bit ragged, and Spurs moving the ball around very, very well. And Harry Kane's in again, and that time his shot is poor, and he was offside again. Interesting quiz question from Chris Sparks. When did Dele Alli last play a game for Spurs? Not Dele Alli, Eric Dyer. I don't know, but Mourinho loves Eric Dyer. He wanted to bring Eric Dyer to United. He was going to pay £50 million for him. I'll tell you what, I've got a lovely jumper to wear on the True Geordie later. It sort of befits me. All I'm going to say is it's Hugo Boss and it's gold. It's good. I've basically just given away the jumper. What a prat. Anyway, Pavan stuck at the traffic lights in Kuala Lumpur listening to you, Mark. Good. 78 possession for Spurs so far. West Ham are not in this game at the moment. So there we go. If anybody's asking about the United Stand Christmas party, emails did go out yesterday, so maybe check your emails, but everybody has had their tickets refunded. We've had to postpone it for numerous reasons. It's a bit of a pisser, but nobody will be out of pocket apart from us because we've got to pay for the fucking thing. So bit of a no more of a pisser than it is for us, but there was reasons we had to cancel it. Some people couldn't make it and it was just not going to be the event we wanted, so we'll just wait till the new year. What about aftershave? Are you going to have on? Says Elliot Horton. I do like a good aftershave. I'm very bad at remembering my aftershaves. I don't wear Eternity. I wear Sauvage. Is it Sauvage? I wear that at the moment. I quite like that. And there's another one I like, which is it's a similar bottle to Eternity, but it's not. I think it might be Dior. I can't think of what it is though. Is it something like? No, it's not Eternity. I've said that before. Anyway, Spurs here. I'll tell you what, if this is the team that Mourinho brings to Old Trafford, I ain't worried about it. I don't think that midfield's all that. Harry Winks, Dyer and Dele Alli. Even our midfielder could get through that. Oh, it should have been 1-0 to West Ham. I'm not quite sure how it wasn't, actually. The cross came in and it hung up. And Sebastian Haller on the back post just didn't really get enough connection. Any connection, and I think that was going in. He just didn't get enough of it, and it ended up in the keeper's arm. But that was a good song. Top 3 Christmas songs, go, says Rio Mia. I tell you what, I heard my first Christmas song on the radio today. I had training this morning at 9 o'clock and was driving back, and they had Wham on, Last Christmas, which is a nice Christmas song, but it doesn't make the top 3 for me. As Son touched the ball, I said it's a nice Christmas song. Yeah, you get it. But I do rate Harry Winks as well, Adam T. I do. And Spurs are moving the ball around quite well at the moment. I like. We've said it a few times, but I do like the fact that they've got width. Good ball into Aurier to cut across back, but they've got rid of it. West Ham there. Top 3 Christmas songs for me. I love Power of Love by Frankie Goes to Hollywood. I really do like Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time by Paul McCartney. It's not a great song. I just like the video where they're all in a pub, and when I think of Christmas, I just love being in the pub on Christmas Eve. So that song is more about the Christmas album, the Christmas thing. I don't know what my third would be. I'd have to have a think. Fairy Tale of New York's very good, Mickey. I think you've got to put that in, yeah. Mickey Moynihan. You've got to go with that. Yeah, so I would go Fairy Tale of New York, Wonderful Christmas Time by Paul McCartney, and whatever I said the third song was before. Power of Love, Frankie Goes to Hollywood. That's a cracker. I'm not doing both games on the kickoff, Darren, because I will be driving. I've got to get from Midlands to London. I ain't going to do that in half an hour when this game finishes at 2:30. So I'll be there for the 5:30 kickoff, so I will. Declan Rice is overrated, Sibishi. I totally agree with you. I don't rate him at all. I don't wear David Beckham cologne, the financial statement. I would never buy that sort of thing. Band-Aid is a very good Christmas song, actually. I always forget about that. It's for charity, that's why. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to get my phone. It's not. I've not left you. I'm not in a protest. I just need to get my phone. I forgot about it. Back again. Baku again. Packer Raban, says Robbie Stones. And I think we've had is it a penalty? I think we might have a penalty here. No. Handball. Looks like Harry Kane fouls the West Ham defender there, and then Diop, and he gives a free kick to Spurs. That's a little bit unfortunate, that is. Apparently Tottenham have been waiting to sell Lucas, says Pacey Bits. You know what? I think that this will be a positive for Mourinho and for Spurs fans, because I think that the good cross. Oh, nearly a goal. Cross came in. Davinson Sanchez went up with the goalkeeper. Another offside. Anyway, it's irrelevant. But I think that, as I said, one of the things that always frustrated me about watching Spurs is their lack of width, which is obviously caused by the fact that they don't have they don't play wingers really. So Lucas Moura could have a revelation at Manchester at Spurs, and let's not forget United were quite heavily linked to Lucas Moura when he ended up going to Spurs. So I fancy that Mourinho actually quite likes him, and Mourinho has quite a good relationship with Brazilian players. So please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're on 103,800, so we could hit 104,000 today. Bottom right hand corner, please subscribe to the channel. We do watch-alongs on here. We'll be doing Champions League watch-alongs on the week, which we'll go through and decide what as well. Bit of FIFA on here. Football Manager's going to start up here in the next couple of weeks. Basically everybody's welcome on here. It's a football channel for everybody. So get involved. Links at the bottom right hand corner. Subscribe. If you have subscribed, please share the video. We've got nearly 3,500 people watching. In fact, we have. Real versus PSG, Atletico versus Juve, Barca versus Dortmund. Watch along, says Pack376. Well, we'll have a look at that in a moment. Somebody asked me what I think about the Australian League. Next to nothing, really. I must admit, I don't really have much thought. The timer is in a new place today because I was a little bit late setting up. So it's below, it's in the top right hand corner of the timer, as you can see. We're 13 minutes in. Spurs have scored a goal, but it was offside. But I think West Ham have had the best chance of the game. A header by Haller that he just didn't get hold of. And West Ham haven't really settled into the game well. Spurs have been the better team. But you know what football's all about. We could see a goal for West Ham. That's gone out for a goal kick. Murray says, Flex is one of the most natural interviewers I've seen. What are your thoughts? Very, very good. He's very, very good. I've always said it. I can't say anything else. He's very good. Charlton are winning 1-0. There you go. Jan Oblak to Manchester United. What do you think? Says Wayne Rogerson. I think we've got more chance of signing Messi. We've just signed De Gea on a new long-term contract. Why would we go and sign another goalkeeper? I mean, it just wouldn't make any sense. I will be on the True Geordie for the 5:30 kickoff, Chelsea versus Man City. That's what I'm going to be on for, not the 3 o'clock games, because I will be driving. So yes, that's where you'll see me on the United on that later on. So it's settled down this game a bit, hasn't it, this first 15 minutes? It had started off, I don't know, I mean, look, I have seen a lot of Spurs over the last 18 months, and I do just think that this shape is more pleasing on the eye. You've got Son touching the left touchline, you've got Moura touching the right touchline, you've got a midfield three that's, you know, basically a Christmas tree with two Winks and Dyer and Ali playing more expansive, and I think with Pochettino it was more 4-2-2-2-2, wasn't it? Which is too many, but I know, but you know what I mean. I think it will serve them better, to be honest with you. But we'll see. Mourinho sat on his backside, not looking too happy. Well, I think Spurs have started off well, but I still think West Ham had the best chance, if I'm honest with you. If you ever need another mod, let me know, says Chris Sparks. Yeah, I do need to get a few more mods on this channel. Please do keep subscribing, bottom right hand corner, and sharing the video. We're nearly at 4,000 watching for this Mourinho Saturday lunchtime game. As I said, I'll be on the kickoff later on True Geordie for Man City Chelsea. Otherwise, I would have done that one as well on this channel, but it has to go down. So thought I'd oblige and go on there for a bit of a more relaxed show. Dean Henderson will not play for United Stormtrooper. He's on loan, so he doesn't play, which does weaken them, actually. It's a good point. My prediction for this game was 2-1 Jackson ES. And transfers from Spurs to United now impossible, says Ben Young. They were very difficult anyway. And what did we want from Spurs? You know, what did we really want from Spurs? I think we wanted players that were impossible anyway. Harry Kane, Son. You know, I don't really want any of their midfield or their defence. So, Eric Dyer there. Absolutely shite pass. Like, Mourinho loves Eric Dyer. He looks about 2 stone overweight, and he's just missed a pass that all of you and Stevie Wonder could have made. It was a 5-yard pass along the ground, and he passed it to the West Ham player. He does not look anywhere near match fit. And he looks fat fit. Yeah, he does. But he doesn't look match fit, Eric Dyer. But he's been chucked in at the deep end. Mark, what was the final count for the fundraiser from your live stream, says Robert Paquet. I'm going to do a video on that. I'm just waiting for the YouTube money to come through from the... So we're on about 10,500, which is banked. That's in the actual charity. And we've got around another 2,000 to pay in from the super chats from the video as well. I'm just waiting for that money to drop from YouTube, which probably will be... Well, actually, it won't be till the end of December because it's done by the month. But what I'll probably do is see if I can use some other money that I've got to just top it up, and we'll do a video of that final count. And actually, as well, I forgot to say this. Have I got it to hand? I had it this morning, and I don't know where it is. Oh, bollocks. Would have been nice to read it out, actually. I literally had it this morning. We had a letter from Marie Curie, which is who we were raising for, and they said they were absolutely overwhelmed by the money that we'd raised, and they'd like us to go in and have a chat, which is great. So well done to everybody on that. What do you make of the rumours of Iker Casillas to United, says Jack Spate. I've not heard of them. I'm not interested in them, and I don't want him anywhere near Manchester United. He's ancient, isn't he? I did hear that Lukaku has said that the minute he heard that Ollie was going to play him on the right wing, he knew it was time to go. Well, personally, I would change that sentence and say the minute Ollie was thinking of playing Lukaku, it was time for Ollie to go. So, you know, and Lukaku thinks he's something he's not. He's a striker in the penalty box. Everything else about his game is atrocious. So I don't think he understands that. I think he thinks he had the power to leave Manchester United and doesn't understand that most United fans wanted him to go and celebrated it. So, what is the best biscuit to dunk in your tea? Good shot there, Yusuf. Not you. You didn't do it, but it was Lucas Moura who got the shot away. A bit of a save for the cameras, but it was on target. I think Spurs need to start scoring goals in this game. Lucas Moura. Oh, terrible header. Shot by Son, boosted up into the air. Lucas Moura gets onto it and his header's poor. Hobnobs, Matt Barber, you're right. It's a hobnob. The hobnob is the most dunkable biscuit. And it was Son who got the shot away before. Good save by the keeper. It was straight at him, really. It was one of those where it's straight up at you and you go like that. Mark is a Liverpool fan, says I'm childish. He's definitely not. I'll be supporting City tonight, which is hard. I have a theory. I have technically got a reason for it, but I'm not a Liverpool fan. Far from it. I want Liverpool to absolutely slip up again. Chocolate bourbon. They're not bad, Tam, actually. So a chocolate bourbon is the oblong chocolate one with the chocolate cream filling and 2 bits of biscuit. They're not bad for dunking. They're not bad. You know what? I would like to be a professional tea biscuit dunker. I might do a video on my channel about it and dunk biscuits. What's the best dunkable biscuit? I've got a video. We're doing that video. We will do that video. Cross comes in, well cleared by West Ham. 21 minutes gone. But for me, it is Rich Tea are terrible busting up. Well, Rich Tea aren't terrible. They're just their time limit. You've got to be on the ball with a Rich Tea. It can take a bit of a soaking, but once it's gone past the point of no return, it just disintegrates into the tea. Hobnob, that'll suck half your tea up. I remember once. This is no word of a lie. I had a cup of tea and a packet of hobnobs. I was halfway through the hobnobs and half my tea had gone. It just soaks up the tea. But don't fall into the trap with a hobnob biscuit that it won't break. Everybody's got a breaking point. Every biscuit's got a breaking point, and it will break. I think the only ones that don't break are those ones you get at Christmas. They're Fox's, the boxes of Fox chocolate biscuits. They are so caked in chocolate that it takes so long to melt it melts the bloody chocolate, and then it's a really hardcore biscuit inside. Those shits are not going to disintegrate, but they don't soak the tea up as well either. You don't want to dunk a biscuit into your tea, take your biscuit out, and it's still hard. You want a bit of softness. Do you have any special dietary requirements or needs? Says Murray. Why, you bringing me dinner? No, I don't. Not that I'm aware of. I don't think sugar does me any good. I'm still prone to the odd spot, as I'm sure you will sometimes see on my streams, and I think that's probably to do with, it's either sugar or dairy or gluten. I can't be asked to cut one out to find out. Philip Kronsfeld says, would you consider loaning promising mid-players with option to buy in January? Sadly, I don't think Ed knows what that means. Well, I think you've hit the nail on the head there, but I would loan players if they were of the right quality. I'm doing a video actually at 8 o'clock tonight on the United Stand about Manchester United's top 5 midfield targets, because I think we need to be realistic. So I've done a 5. There's a couple of players that are dependent if we ever would consider coming out of Brexit and signing players that are from Europe. And then there's 3 Premier League players as well. So watch it at 8 o'clock. I've gone for realistically who are our midfield targets, because McGinn and Maddison, they're not realistic. They're not happening in January. Mark, please do a review of the tactical setup by Jose for this game. I've joined late, says Gold Peace Prosperity. I don't need to do a review of it. I can do it for you now in a moment. And Genwell Belandre says, at every club Mourinho has been in, he has thrown someone under the bus. Who do you think it will be at Tottenham? Probably Eriksen, I think. I think Eriksen's going to be the one. A jammy dodger is up there, says Zed Jamie. Yeah. A proper jammy dodger. None of your Sainsbury's jammy dodgers. A proper jammy dodger, whoever makes them. They are very, very good. Very, very good indeed. And, so the way Mourinho's lined up in this game thus far, obviously he's flat back 4, which is very similar to how he lined up at Chelsea and Manchester United. Mourinho will change his formations. We've seen him do that with Inter. But it's a flat back 4. It's 2 holding midfielders, which seems to be the way everybody plays these days. 2 holding midfielders with Dyer and Harry Winks. And then he's basically playing a 4-2-3-1. He's basically playing what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is playing, which is a formation I don't particularly like. I think it's too defensive. I think when you look at the way Liverpool and Man City can play, where they just have 1 holding midfielder with Fabinho or Fernandinho or Rodri, I don't like having 2 holding midfielders. But he is playing a 4-2-3-1. He's got Winks and Dyer as the holding midfielders. He's got Son playing off the left, Moura playing off the right, although they've both just swapped in the last couple of minutes. Dele Alli as the central attacking midfielder, and then obviously Harry Kane up front. Come on, you gunner hammers, says Zayn Miasi, and beat the fraudsters. Whether you love or hate Jose, no one can deny that the Premier League is more interesting with him in it, says Sam A. I would agree with you on that one. I would. It's good that Jose took over the attention will be out from Manchester United for a while, says DR Gaming. I don't think it will. I think that the press are more than happy to focus on more than one club. I think that Mourinho will be the focus of a lot of news outlets because Mourinho sells papers. But I especially think that new Athletic thing where you have to pay a £5 a month for news, you'll be getting stories from them every week about what Mourinho has for breakfast, what hair products he uses. You'll get loads and loads of that because Mourinho sells. But here we go. Nice ball by West Ham. I thought he was offside, Felipe Anderson. He's not. He cuts it back. Oh, what a prat. Haller there. Anderson does everything right and Haller's touch is poor. What do we think about Sebastian Haller? Is he all that? I'm not so sure. That was a bit of a break there. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of attention in relation to Mourinho, but the press, they'll just do more stories. They're not going to stop talking about United because they know United sell as well. Mourinho sells, Arsenal sell. There'll just be more stuff. I've got Lucas on Ultimate Team Jack Spate. I have got Lucas. Have I ever done any stand-up comedy before, Ollie Benford? No. I don't really have any aspirations to do it, if I'm honest with you. I don't mind like doing Q&As and things like that. But the thing about stand-up is that, and I think everybody knows this, it's very scripted. They're very clever people who do them, but they don't like walk out for an hour and a half and just wing it. It's all rehearsed in their heads. And there's a lot of work that goes into that, and I'm probably a little bit lazy to do it, to be honest. I'd rather just freestyle. Watch along for City versus Chelsea, says Anna Rudd. Not on this channel. I'll be on the True Geordie kickoff for that, so I will be watching it, but I will be on a different channel. Yellow94 says it's his brother's birthday today. Happy birthday to Yellow94's birthday. And Mourinho looks weird with Spurs, says Femi. I often wonder what Chelsea fans think about Mourinho, because he's without question their best ever manager. And since they've sacked him, he's gone and played for Manchester United and Spurs, who are both rivals. So it's difficult, isn't it? I mean, Manchester United, we've never had that. I feel that West Ham are starting to come into this game a little bit. I don't know about you lot, but Spurs are starting to look a little bit leggy, if I may say. Yes, he will, Hayden. There is an 8 o'clock show on the United Stand, Davian Francis, yes. And West Ham are going to get a result, says L-Doctor69. Mark, True Geordie got Shearer on his show. Would you get Roy Keane on yours, says Zane Massey? Yeah, but True Geordie's got bloody... He had that Fortnighter on the other day. He's had Tyson Fury on. I mean, say what you like about Brian and Lawrence, but they do attract good guests. Robbie Williams quoted my tweet on Twitter yesterday. That's my claim to fame. Matic to Tottenham, says Hallam899. I can't see. And I know it's your first time watching, but I can't see. I would love Matic to go to Tottenham. I think I'd be overjoyed by it, but I just can't see it happening. I can't see it happening. Anyway, we've just had Andy Cole on ours. Andy Cole is... I don't know what I'm on about. Andy Cole is our latest upload on the United Stand. Andy Cole, like Newcastle hotshot, United legend Andy Cole is on the United Stand. It's our latest upload. And we had Ryan Giggs, so we do all right. We haven't got 2 million subscribers, have we? Thoughts on Vertonghen, says E.G. Gondo. I don't think he'll be Mourinho's sort of defender. I think Mourinho will like Davinson Sanchez because he's quicker and he's more robust. So I definitely thought that Davinson Sanchez would be coming in. Marcus Coldfridge says, I see Robbie twice a week. In what way? Have we got a sensational affair or something? Half an hour gone, 0-0. Yeah, Andy Cole was a brilliant striker for Newcastle, Darry Bingham. I always remember that goal. I think it was against Chelsea where he put it in the top corner and it was a ridiculous angle. Brilliant goal. Yang Vertonghen is actually injured. I presume Ndembele is injured as well. Murray says, if Mourinho wanted Smalling at Spurs, do you sell? And I'm trying to think. I think Mourinho liked Smalling, and I think he would take him, to be fair. The thing about Chris Smalling is it just depends what you want to do with Smalling. Do you want Smalling to be a first-team starter? If so, he's probably not bad for a team that wants to finish third or fourth. If you want him as a backup player, then he'd work well in a title-winning side as well. Yeah, Ndembele is injured, says Hassan. And that's a corner to Spurs. West Ham have had to work hard. I think United will win on tomorrow, Clark Menard. Yeah, that's my prediction. What business do you think Spurs will do in the January transfer window, says Lachlan? Well, I'd like to put that to the live comments, actually. Do you think Spurs will do any business in the January transfer window? Because when I look at Spurs, I personally think, let's just see what happens with this corner. I personally think that he will want a right back. That's another corner. I do think that he'll want a right back. I don't think he's made up with Aurier or Walker-Peters. I think he will want a right back. I don't know who's available for that. And I mean, they've got a lot of midfielders. So it'd be interesting if they offload Eriksen, whether he brings another midfielder in. Because I don't think Lo Celso is a Mourinho midfielder. I don't think Eriksen's going to stay. So I think he might want a midfielder, and they definitely need another striker. I mean, there's talk of Zlatan. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? But he would be a decent backup, because if Harry Kane gets injured, you're in problems, aren't you? Alderweireld getting a shot off there, but it's come to Lucas Moura, and he's done well to retain that. Hurrah! Have worked out how to super chat. Hashtag rookie, says Ben Mitchell. Yeah, if you want to do a super chat, you just hit the $ at the bottom of the live comments, and you'll get away. You can do stickers as well. Yeah, Brad Hughes, the kickoff the production is amazing. The amount of people they have working on it, it's just unbelievable. Compared to like what I and others do, it's just it's very exciting what that can become, really. But having said that, it's very, very exciting what that's football can become. We hit 100k. Dele Alli, edge of the box, looking to get Son in, and a good recovery tackle there by Declan Rice. So please do subscribe, bottom right hand corner. We're trying to get to 104,000 subscribers today. Crazy progress on this channel. We want to keep it going. Watch alongs every week in the Premier League. I'm going to have a look at the Champions League games in a minute, because we'll be doing watch alongs for that. My FIFA career mode is coming towards the end of the season. We've got to get that Europa League won so we can get in the Champions League, because we're not going to do it through the league. I enjoy That's Football, Davian Francis. I think it's a very, very different watch along to anything else that's out there. I do enjoy it because it's way more interactive with you guys and girls. Would you prefer Declan Rice, Eric Dyer, or have your Todger cut off, says Hayden Belling. There's a lot of Todger talk today. It's only lunchtime. They're applauding some girl at West Ham. I presume she's probably ill or dead. I didn't see what it said on the scoreboard, but let's applaud it. Yeah, I think she died in 2019. That's sad. Zayn Miasi with a massive contribution. He's got more money than sense. It's your birthday today, Zayn, isn't it? I know you're having your party. I'll give everyone the details of it. I won't really. He says, come on your hammers, long live Arsenal, and hope Corbyn loses even though he's a gooner. Political. You're going to get in trouble for that, Zayn. Political. All I would say about the election is if you're voting, I watched the leaders stuff yesterday, and I'm never going to say vote this, vote that. I think that's ridiculous. But what I would say is I saw that Channel 4 were going to have an election debate and Brexit wasn't going to be one of the topics. And I was like, how arrogant of Channel 4 to not let Brexit be one of the bloody topics. This is a Brexit general election. This is what we're voting for. We can pretend it's about the NHS and everything else. And, they are very, very valuable things. But this is a general election about Brexit because our government will not pass what the country voted for. And people say, oh, you obviously voted for Brexit. Well, I can't say whether I did or I didn't, but actually I didn't. I didn't vote for it because I didn't believe a lot of what the stuff was put out there. But I'm not against it. And the reality is, as somebody who didn't vote for Brexit, we need to get it done because that's democracy. It was voted for. And what are we going to do? Oh, let's have another referendum. And if we don't like that one, we'll do it again. We had a referendum and they voted out and we should go out. And that's what this election's all about. It is all about that. And it makes me laugh that people are trying to make it about something else when ultimately nothing else will get done until we sort this out. So that's my thoughts on it. And Son is in the box. He's going to score. He has. It's Son. It's the first goal for Spurs. The keeper should have done better. And it's 1-0 to Tottenham. And it's Son. Sonaldo does it again. Sonaldo scores the first goal. And it was very Ronaldo-esque. Very Ronaldo-esque. He's got so many similar traits in an Asda version way. But it's 1-0. And it's Jose's first goal. It has been coming. I think Spurs have shaded it. Ball comes through from Harry Winks. It's a nice ball by Dele Alli. And Son just stands up the defender, gets a yard of space and blasts it in. He's very similar to Ronaldo, you know. His body, the way he uses his body, his little trick. He's a fantastic player. I'm a big fan of Son. I'm not going to pretend I'm not when I am. I do like him. I think he's good. And he's made it 1-0. So it's changed the score. Jose's very happy. He's back. Voldemort's back. But I think Son will cause people more damage off that left-hand side anyway, if I'm honest. Jose, the guy who is rich, wants Corbyn to lose. Surprise, surprise, says Red Baron. He says vote Labour. Look, I'm not having this. I'm not having this. I don't want it to go vote this, vote that. I think it's really a good shot there from distance from Dele Alli. Sane will be gutted now. Spurs are winning. Spurs already play better football than us, says Dave Jordan. Well, they're playing. The thing is, they're playing the same formation. I mean, that's an interesting thing. If we have got United fans watching, he's playing the same formation, a 4-2-3-1. It's just Harry Kane's not as mobile as Martial. Son's better than Rashford. Moura and James, I think, probably a little bit similar, but very different in the way they play. And Spurs have got midfield options that we don't. Rashford or Son, says Alfie Baker. Oh, God. Like, what I don't understand about Marcus Rashford is... Owen J says, would you sign Ben Pearson for United? No. Mark is a Tory, says Matty. I love this. I love this. Mark's a Tory, right? Why would I be a Tory when I was brought up in a working class family? That doesn't make any sense. Keep politics out of football, says Sam A. Exactly. Yeah, I've seen this a lot over the international break, and it feels like Rashford has almost had a hype card on FIFA over the international break, because over the last 8 months, he's not actually been that good. Over the last 2 weeks, he's been really good. And there's a yellow card for a foul on Son there. And Marcus Rashford's a very good player, but he ain't Son. Oh, that was definitely a yellow card tackle. Definitely a yellow card tackle on Son. Tell you what, if he hadn't got the ball, Fredericks there, I think he might have been looking at a red. In slow time, that was a nasty tackle. Rice has been very good, says so far, says Elijah. Son is head and shoulders above Rashford, says Davin France. Oh yeah, I can't believe that people would even think that is a debate. Hung like a horse wants a big shout out. I wonder why you want a big shout out. I bet you hung like a maggot, really. And Mark, if United go into January undefeated, do you think top 4 is possible? Look, I said this on the United stand last night. Top 4 to me for United at the moment looks very difficult. We're 9 points off City, but we're 10 points off Chelsea and Leicester, who are our more realistic targets. But it is only November. So it's only November. So when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer took over, and I can't remember the exact point, but when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer took over Manchester United in the middle of December, I think we were about 10 points off top 4. So of course it can still be done. It definitely can still be done. E.G. Gondo says, would you buy Harry Winks if you were desperate? Yeah. I mean, Harry Winks, whatever you think about him, he would improve United's midfield options. Of course he would. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. We're going to decide our watch alongs for the Champions League games in a moment. Subscribe, bottom right hand corner. You can also share it as well. Cross goes up. Dele Alli, good save by the keeper, and West Ham will clear. Dylan Hanafi, what a prat. He asked me to call him a prat. Probably you could have recorded that little bit there, and it could be like your little clip that you enjoy. I could make millions doing that. Start emailing me, people, and I'll do your little videos that you can play. I'll call you a prat for a tenner, a tosser for 20 quid, and what else can I do? I'm only joking. I'm too busy. Mark is a class traitor, says Ulrich Dalland. You see, this is why I don't do politics, because people put words into your mouth. Mark, this is ruining my birthday. Can you do your voodoo stuff and make Spurs lose? I'll try, Zane. There's no way Spurs aren't winning this game. Sometimes that works on Twitter. That sometimes works. Just play devil's advocate, read politics. When Brexit happens, the rules of foreign players coming to the Premier League will change. There will be a limit. Maybe United are actually forward planning. No to Corbyn, says who me. I'm not reading anything about who to vote for again, because it just always, it's not fair. But what I would say is, and this is not telling you to vote either way, but I believe that this election is about Brexit, because it needs to either get done or not get done, and that's how I will be voting. I will be voting in that way, and I voted Remain, so there's a little bit of a hint. But actually, I also think that the deal should be done because people voted for it. Mora goal, 2-0. Every time I talk about Brexit or the election, there's a goal. Let's keep doing it. It's 2-0. It's Son with the cross, and it's I think it's an OG. They'll probably review it on VAR, but Spurs are well ahead. It's Cresswell, OG, I think. Cross comes in. Duman Blue says it's over. Lucas Moura was the man getting on the end of it, but I think he knows he doesn't get the tap in. Lovely cross by Son. It's one of them outside of the foot across the 6-yard box things. And it's Dele Alli into Son. Lovely cross. It's an own goal. Cresswell, to be fair to Cresswell, not a lot you can do. Dele Alli keeps this in play quite well. It's interesting how it stays on. And then it's Son, and he actually crosses it with his left foot, not the outside. Lovely cross. Cresswell can't do anything other than put it into the back of his net. Abdallah Abukar says, happy Mourinho is back in the league. It will bring much needed excitement. There's no way that ball goes out from Dele Alli. No way at all. And they're reviewing that, but it's 2-0. Lovely by Son. And I'm going to tweet that, actually. Two wide men. The amount of United fans who are going. I just avoid Twitter. Happy Mourinho is back. Yeah, we've read that one. Yes, okay. I'll give it a couple more minutes and I'll start talking about Brexit again, and then Spurs will score. That's ridiculous. Both goals, we were talking about it. It's 2-0. I've got to change the scoreline as well. But yeah, people were saying it's boring, but I think it's been an interesting game. And I think that is Pellegrini now looking at the sack? I think that is a very relevant point. A very relevant point indeed. West Ham are just a funny team. And let's not forget, this is the West Ham team that beat United, which shows how poor United are. But West Ham are just a funny team. They started the season off quite well, and then they've gone and had loads and loads of dodgy results themselves, haven't they? But it's looking like 2-0 at half-time. Wanyama's what's the story with Wanyama? That's a very good point. What is the story with Wanyama? Sakeo Karuga. Is he injured? Oscar Fontaine. I need people's help on this one, actually. Oscar Fontaine says, and we're going to pick our Champions League games in a minute for the watch-alongs in the week, but Oscar Fontaine says, are you wanting Chelsea or City to win later? Now, what do you want? And tell us who you support, because I know some people will support United, some will be Arsenal fans, some will be Liverpool fans. I think if you're a Liverpool fan, you want Chelsea to win. Of course you do, because City, although they're behind Chelsea, City are more of a challenge. City won't win. Chelsea won't win the league. As a United fan, we want top four. So what's better for us? I think City are always going to get top four. I think Chelsea, there's more chance of them dropping out than City. So that's one reason to support Chelsea, to support City, as stupid as it sounds. The other reason is, and this is a hard one, I don't want Liverpool to win the league. I totally know that Liverpool deserve to be where they are, and I respect what they've done in a horrible way. Not that they've not done it in a horrible way, but because I'm a United fan, they're our biggest rivals, and I can't knock them for where they are. I just don't want them to be there because they're our biggest rival. I don't like City, but to be honest with you, I want them to win today, and I think that's where I stand on it. But it's not a nice situation. I mean, Mickey Moynihan says a draw. I don't think a draw doesn't help United though, does it? I mean, you want Chelsea to drop all of the points, and a draw helps Liverpool. If you want City to stop Liverpool winning the league, City are going to have to win basically every game left in the season. So that's no good. It depends what you want. I'm a United fan and I want City to win. I can't stand Liverpool, says Sabisi. Prefer Chelsea just because I don't want City to win, but again I wanted to draw, but again I want City to just stop Liverpool, says Mark Shea. Exactly. Good shot in there, and Roberto's tipped it over from Davinson Sanchez. Jose's body language shows he has a point to prove, says Pradney Wadke. And Zamiasi, Mark, I'm off to smoke cigars as this result is depressing. Just enjoy your birthday, mate. And that header over from Eric Dyer. Mourinho's gone to the half-time place, dressing room. I suppose that's what you'd call it, early. But it's comfortable for Spurs, 2-0 up. I mean, look, the thing about Spurs is that, the thing about Mourinho is when he's got a 2-0 lead, it's very, very unlikely he's going to change that. What I would say is going to be very interesting in the second half, again, from a United fan who's witnessed being under Mourinho. It's going to be very interesting in the second half how Mourinho approaches this second half, because will he think, well, we've got that 2-goal lead, we keep the clean sheet, we sit back and we get the 3 points, or will he go for more goals? I personally think they could win this game 4 or 5-0, but will Mourinho do that? And in doing that, will he be putting a marker down for what is the evolution of Jose Mourinho? As I've said, if Mourinho approaches this job the way he approached United and Chelsea, he will fail, because that style of football is dead. If he's going to be a more expansive manager in the way his teams play, he might reinvent himself. We'll have to wait and see. Do you think Jose looks more attacking, says Ray Kyle? They've definitely been more attacking. I mean, let's have a look at the stats. They've definitely been more attacking. There's no doubts about that. They've had 64% possession. They've had 11 shots to West Ham's 2. They've had 4 on target. West Ham have had none. They've had 6 corners. So the domination has been there from the away team, which is Spurs. I expected more from West Ham, if I'm absolutely honest with you, and we haven't had that. So, on the evidence of that, it's been good. I mean, look, the interesting thing is Spurs' next game is Bournemouth at home. You'd expect them to win that, and then they're playing United on the Wednesday. So Mourinho could be 2 wins from 2 coming to Old Trafford, and that would be the same. I think that could be the same for United as well. So that game is massive, and I think we already know it. I think we already know that game's going to be massive. But look, I did say this in the week as well. I said it on my preview this week on this channel. Mourinho's a defensive coach, but Rui Faria was a massive part of what Mourinho was all about. Rui Faria left when United, if you don't know this, Rui Faria was the assistant coach with Mourinho, and he'd been his assistant coach for about a decade, I think. And we finished second in the league. Yeah, we were about 1 million points off City, but we still finished second. Rui Faria left, and then within 3 months, 4 months, it was December, Mourinho was sacked. So Rui Faria was a big part of Mourinho's success. Mourinho has not got Rui Faria at Spurs. He's brought somebody in from Lille, I believe, who's a more attacking coach. So we might well see a different Mourinho footballing side. And that's going to be very interesting to see. Hopefully no more VAR controversies this week, says Collins RT. Yeah, let's just quickly do this actually. So please do subscribe to the channel, bottom right hand corner. That's football. Everybody's welcome on here. We do FIFA career mode. I'm going to start doing Football Manager soon. I'm either going to do a Premier League club, or I'm going to do non-league to Premier League massive challenge. I've not decided yet. Topical stuff, topical videos, and also watch-alongs. We normally do 1 Premier League watch-along a week, and we do the Champions League. So Champions League games this week, the choices we've got are Real Madrid versus PSG on Tuesday night, which I think is obviously the game that we will do. On Tuesday, it will be Real Madrid versus PSG. And then on Wednesday night, Liverpool-Napoli is probably what I'm going to do. Barcelona-Dortmund does appeal, but I think Liverpool-Napoli is an interesting one. May do Valencia-Chelsea at 6 o'clock. We'll see how we're getting on for time. So yeah, we've sorted. We'll do Liverpool-Napoli on Wednesday, and we'll do Real Madrid versus PSG on the Tuesday, and we might do Chelsea at 6 o'clock on the Wednesday as well. Just in relation to those leagues, just to let you know how the connotations of those leagues look, because people will be like, PSG and Real Madrid have definitely qualified. Not necessarily. If Club Brugge were to beat Galatasaray and Real Madrid were to lose to PSG, it would still not be through for Real Madrid. In relation to Liverpool's group, Liverpool and Napoli pretty much through, although Salzburg could have something to say about it if Liverpool were to beat Napoli or Napoli were to beat Liverpool. So little bit of interest. And the Chelsea group's very interesting because Valencia, Chelsea and Ajax are all on 7 points. So very interesting group, that one. And I wouldn't mind doing the Chelsea game as a watch-along, to be honest with you. So let's see what we're doing with that. Let's do what we do with that. Neymar is back as well for that PSG game. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. I think it's going to be a very interesting game, PSG versus Real Madrid, or Real Madrid versus PSG, because it's in Madrid. Sterling is some player on FIFA 20. Can't get the ball off him, says Stephen Diak. And I'm a bit pissed off with FIFA 20 at the moment, to be honest with you. I think the latest, it's just a hard game to play. Zayn must be giving Mark all his birthday money, says Josh K. And I've been invited to Zayn's birthday, actually. I know where it is. It's tonight. And I might be going. This is the last 6 teams Mourinho has managed. Spell out the capitals. CIRCUS. Circus. Chelsea, Inter, Real, Chelsea, United, Spurs. Justin Steele. I think that on a tweet would bang. Feels nice to watch proper tactics instead of Ollie's run as fast as you can, says RLMUFC. Alvin Blocks is in the live chats. Hello, Alvin. What's your long-term plan for the channel, says Akash Singh Pahir. Well, I just really love this channel. I really love this channel. I mean, the United Stand's my bread and butter. I love the United Stand, as people know, because I'm a United fan. But I like this channel in a different way. It's I was talking to Drawty about it a few weeks ago. United Stand is a pressure. It's not a job because it's a passion, but it matters. The United Stand matters because that's the club. You get very political. You get very engrossed in it because it's your club. That's football. I enjoy it because I love football. So, like watching this game today, I'm not emotionally involved. I'm just enjoying it, giving opinion on it. So I love this channel, and I like the fact that we get lots of different fans in the live comments. So I love this channel. I really do, and I'll keep doing it the more it keeps growing. So or stays as it is. So I like the channel. I really enjoy it. So I hope you do. Please subscribe, bottom right hand corner. And I think that there's a lot we can do with it as well. I like doing the Football Manager stuff. I like doing the FIFA stuff, and I like doing the watch-alongs because it's a chance to watch games of football with you lot that I watch away from United. So yeah, I like it. Did you watch the latest Alan Partridge series? Says Jack Spade. I did. I wasn't a big fan of it, to be honest. I am on the kickoff today, Jones. I'm getting in the car straight after this, I'm tired today, but it should be all right. Is Guardiola actually a good manager, says Philip Matthews? I'll tell you what, I do think that today's game against Chelsea is going to be very interesting because I think Man City over the last 3 years have had it pretty straightforward that they can just brush aside most sides. But Chelsea are a well-coached side and they are a threat, and it'll be interesting. Part of me thinks that City are going to smash them 3 or 4-0, but if City did that to this Chelsea side, that would be a huge statement. And I still personally do think that there is a big gulf in class between Man City and Liverpool and the rest. But it's going to be interesting to see how it works. And I think that, would you be shocked if Chelsea did get something today? I think Liverpool are going to win the league anyway. But I think if City don't beat Chelsea today, the league is over, because I think Liverpool will win at Palace, and then that gap could be like 10 points, it could be 12 points, which I think is too much. Mark, where is the kickoff studio? Says Tottenham fan reactions. It's in London. I'm not doing Chelsea versus City on this channel, Rahad. I would have, but I'm going on the kickoff with the true Geordie and Lawrence and Hugh and... Well, it'll be Rory, won't it? Because he's a Chelsea fan. He's on most weeks anyway. Let's have a little sniff of my Vic. I feel a bit cold today. I might actually just stand up a moment and put the heating on. Mark, will you do any streams on Christmas Day? Says Jack. I wouldn't have thought so. There will be some content that's pre-recorded, a bit like the Queen. But I wouldn't have thought I would do any... live streaming. I did do a live stream cooking my stuffing once, but I don't think so. I think Christmas is a time for to have a day off, I suppose. Yeah, I think you would agree with me with that. In the end of the day. Right, we got a super chat from Ben Mitchell. He says, do you think Jose entering the transfer market, some United targets, e.g. Bruno Fernandes, will force United and Ed to negotiate with more urgency? Look, Alvin Blocks says, are you hanging up your stocking on your wall? It's next weekend, isn't it, for Christmas decorations? I think anybody who's putting them up this weekend, and there will be some, it's a little bit premature. I think it's next weekend. How pathetic is Haller? Worse than Yayo Sanogo, says Jared McCormick. He's poor. I think he is poor. I said that in the first half. I agree with that. Kay Buckley says West Ham are terrible. I think Felipe Anderson is a good player, but that team's not good. Declan Rice isn't that good. So yeah, I would say that. But Declan Rice is crap when Dele Alli's making him look crap. What was I going to say? I've forgotten now. Omar says, I'm watching you and having tea and cookies, the best thing. Look, it is a bit like that this weekend in the UK. It's a bit cold and it's a bit chilly. So if you're cozying up this Saturday lunchtime, I don't blame you. Always used to like a bacon sandwich on a Saturday lunchtime watching Football Focus. Mourinho is back to his best. Yeah, he's back to his best because he's beating West Ham 2-0. Is it attractive football, says Absolute Zero. I don't think it's better football than what Pochettino was playing. I just think it suits this league better. I think the fact that he's playing two wingers and, I think it will suit Harry Kane better. I think Dele Alli's having a good game. He's basically replicating what a lot of teams do, but certainly replicating what Solskjaer does. And maybe Solskjaer is replicating what Mourinho does, because they're both playing exactly the same formation. And there could be some sort of, I already think it's a race to see who's going to finish above each other, Man United or Spurs. But is it also going to be even deeper than that? Are we now actually going to see replication of formations and tactics? Because the way Spurs have set up today is very similar to the way United have been setting up this season, 4-2-3-1. And a lot of United fans have been saying all season that Ollie's just a B-Tech Jose, the way he sets up. So I don't think Mourinho's copying Ollie's formation. I think that, Mourinho obviously has played this before. I love pigs in blankets, says Steve Wanham. So do I. Mourinho is a better tactician than all the rest. Remember how he dismantled Pep's Barcelona to win over 100 points, says Victor Graca. And West Ham need Wiltshire out there. Would have spark they're currently missing. Antonio needs to get on as well, says Jared McCormack. Mark, are you excited for the rise of Skywalker? No, ridiculously I am not. I'm not excited for this film at all. And, I don't actually know why. I think it's the disappointment of The Last Jedi that I'm just not that excited about it. And that's the absolute honest truth. I will go and watch it, of course, but I've got to be honest, I'm not overly excited about it. Far from it. Far from it indeed. The way I think they're doing it on the kickoff today is that they're doing a 3 o'clock kickoff, so they're going to be watching all the 3 o'clock games, and then they're going to run through till the 5:30 kickoff, which is the one I'm on. So I think Blue Van Man is on the 3 o'clock. I don't know whether he's going to be on the 5:30. I don't know whether we swap or whatever. So I don't know. We'll find out when we get there. What up, Mark? Says Big Man Steve. And did you know that McTominay's wage is £10,000 per month? That's nothing compared to the rest of the squad, and he's one of the best, says Santi Smith. I did see that this week, Santi, but I can't establish how that would be true. How can Scott McTominay be on £10,000 a week when Phil Jones is on £100,000 a week, Ashley Young's on £120,000 a week, and Juan Mata's on £140,000 a week? So that just wouldn't make any sense. And if I was McTominay, I would be up in arms about it. So, I know the club want to save money, but that's just ridiculous. You've got to play the players what they're worth. What are you getting me for Christmas, says Dylan Hanafi. Nothing. You've got your little clip of me calling you a prat, so you can have that. You're a meme now, if you want. 10,000 a month? Come on. That's ridiculous. Luke Shaw's on 150 as well, Biggie Smalls is right. I think McTominay's probably more on about 80k a week, yeah. Substitution for West Ham. Are you watching The Mandalorian, Mark? Says Luke Blumfield. I've watched the first episode. Now, this surprises me. This really surprises me that West Ham have taken off Anderson. He must be injured. You would never do that. You wouldn't do that. So I don't understand why he's done that. I thought he was going to bring Antonio on for Haller. He's brought him on for Felipe Anderson, so it must be an injury. Jared McCormack says, are the kickoff team good blokes off camera? I've been on, I don't know how many times I've been on. I think I've been on 3 times, and or maybe twice. I don't know whether I've been on 3 times or twice. But yeah, I enjoy it. It's good. It's good. What device is best to play Football Manager, says Elias Sasson. I just play on PC because they're more powerful. I fancy United to win tomorrow, Reiko, as well. I do think that Bruno Fernandes will go to Spurs, Victor. Yeah, I do. Do a watch-along of your life. It would never end. Well, it would end when I die, but it'd be a long, long watch-along. Right, can West Ham get back into the team? No, I don't think they'd get back into the game. Humi says it's even more shocking when Grant, the goalkeeper, is on 30k. 30k a week for Grant. It's insane. Well, it was Christmas for every day for him, wasn't he, when he got that move to United? Where did we get Grant from? Didn't we get him from Stoke or something? He was probably on about £2.50 a week, and now he's on 30 grand a week to do sod all. McSauce is on 60 grand a week, says Snap Loke. Yeah, I think that's probably more realistic. West Ham are so bad, says Mr. Mitz. Who scored? Son scored the first goal, Sean O'Leary, and then he provided the second one. Cross across the box. Cresswell turned it into his own goal before Mora. Zakaya says, how do they watch 3 p.m. kickoffs on the kickoff? Well, use your imagination. My timer isn't messed up, Alvin. It's just in the different position today. When am I going to play Football Manager 2020, says Debala Mask? Over the next couple of weeks. It probably won't be next week. It'll be the weekend after. Will you ever do a video of you playing snooker, says Kazaz? I'd love to. I would love to. But it's not the easiest thing to film. Davian Francis, can you do a Christmas film watch-along? A lot of people have said to me, why don't you do a film watch-along? Because I do like film. But how do you do a film watch-along? Because I can't play the audio. I can't play the video. So we'd all just have to agree a time to start watching a film, wouldn't we? And then we'd be talking through it, and we like it. So RDS 908 says that Trudy Hood is a bit of a bell end, huge ego. Son's on the break. Let's talk about Brexit. What do you think about Brexit? I think it's got to be done. Oh, he's missed it. The reason I'm talking about Brexit is I was talking about Brexit before both Spurs goals, and Lucas Moura has just missed an absolute sitter. Son would have had assist too. I would have scored this. This is an absolute sitter. Son slips him through in the box, dead central. All he's got to do, he takes a touch, he's in the box, he's just got to find the bottom corner, and he puts it wider than the 6-yard box. Terrible. Terrible finish. And he's paid... This is what I mean about footballers. They're paid ridiculous amounts of money and they miss chances that some of us would score sometimes. What a miss, says Kalas Joel. Jack Spate says, if you dedicated yourself to football from your youth, what level do you think you would have got to? For me, I was a very good footballer, he says with a straight face. Harry Kane, 3-0. What a goal that is. It's easy peasy lemon squeezy. And it's a cross from Moura. And it's onto Harry Kane's head. And I think, you know, Wolfie 35p says, I've won 270 quid today on Betfair. Need Spurs to win 3-1 to make another 220 quid. Well, you just need a West Ham goal for it to happen. But it's easy. They've been caned. And it's Harry Kane. Lovely cross in. I think it's Lucas Moura who puts it in. And Pellegrini's going to get the sack. He's surely going to get the sack. And this Spurs setup, as I said, with the width, it just seems to suit them better. And nice switch of the play. I think it's actually Aurier who puts the cross in. Yeah, it's Aurier. Lovely cross. Poor defending from West Ham. Harry Kane's got 2 players on him. It's just lazy defending as well, to be honest with you. West Ham are shit. How did we lose to West Ham is the question ringing out across the live comments from Manchester United fans. And, you know, I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you. It's 3-0. Harry Kane's now down injured. I don't even think it's that Spurs and Mourinho have been that good. I just think it's that West Ham are really, really bad. Thanks, Mark. Oh, PJ, you can watch a film on Discord. The screen is shared and you can speak. Thank you. Remember when United were rumoured to be in for Diop? Yeah, no thanks, says Alligator. Yeah, no, he ain't that good, is he? He ain't that good. But Spurs boosting their goal difference as well. I mean, look, we said at half-time, will Spurs sit back at 2-0? And it's interesting how... I'm going to tweet about that as well. It's interesting how they've not taken their foot off the pedal. And I think there's more goals in this. I've just tweeted that out. 2-0 up away from home at half time. The old Jose would shut up shop. Is it a new Jose that's going for more? I think that's the interesting question, isn't it? You know, he's obviously smelt blood. James Samuels has just said Mourinho will finish above us every year at Tottenham now. I bet you next year they will win the league or finish second. I hate our owners. I've never really thought of it like that. You know, we're all obsessing about Mourinho embarrassing Oli and finishing above us, but actually the bigger story here is that our board sacked Jose Mourinho, and if he did go on to have success at Spurs, then that, you know, I think Mourinho rightly got sacked, but I think Mourinho will say, I didn't get the backing of the board, and if a board can't get the best out of their manager, then you know what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to say at the end of the day, if Mourinho is successful at Spurs, it looks bad on our board. Like Moyes was sacked and disappeared. Van Gaal was sacked and disappeared. Mourinho's been sacked. He's now back in the Premier League at a club that could do better than us. That would be embarrassing. Very embarrassing. Dave Jordan, West Ham 3 wins, Norwich, Watford and us, says it all. Yeah. I don't know how Man United lost to West Ham. They're awful. They're bloody awful. Really, really poor. Oh my God, people cheering for Jose in the live comments. Football fans can be so fickle. He hasn't had his hands on the team long enough yet, says Red Baron. Look, I think if you're saying Jose is going to be successful, I think you are being a bit premature. I would agree with Red Baron on that one, because one thing that happens all the time when a new manager goes in, there's a bounce. Suddenly all these players that couldn't get out of bed for the previous regime are running around like a Duracell rabbit. You get that bounce. You get that fight for many reasons. They don't want to be sold. They like the ideas of the new manager. So there's going to be a bounce. And I think that Spurs, Bournemouth at home next week, you'd expect them to win that. Then they play Man United, and that game's going to be huge. I think Mourinho will have 2 wins. I think Oli will have 2 wins. I think we'll beat Villa and Sheffield United. So that game is box office. I think in many ways it's more important to United than the derby 3 days after. So long term, can Mourinho be successful at Spurs? We're going to have to wait and see. But I do see a Spurs side that looks a lot better than it has done in recent months, because it's playing natural width, because the system seems to suit them better. And let's not forget that Mourinho's coaching staff, you know, when you look at their backgrounds, especially the assistant coach, is a lot more of an attacking coach than a Rui Faria. Zayn Miasi says, I heard Ed Woodward is not having a Christmas tree this year so they can have extra money to buy in January, says Zayn. It's not 3-0 with 10 minutes gone. We're into the second half, Nick Ravel. And Humi says, it's new broom sweeps clean. He will want to stamp a marker. West Ham are really bad. However, when he comes to United or away to Bayern, let's see how attacking he is. Leopards don't change their spots. And I think that's a cracking comment. It's very easy to play against the West Ham team and attack. Will he do the same when he comes to Old Trafford? I don't think he will. Because if he attacks against us, we'll hurt him on the break. Conan Kennedy says, if the board backed Jose and he does well, just shows how bad our owners are. It really going to show if he was the right man or not. Exactly, I agree. I think if the board had backed Jose, this board at Spurs backed Jose and he does well, it will expose our owners more. And I do think there is a story there between Mourinho and Oli and who's going to finish higher. But ultimately, I think if Mourinho does well, then you've got to look at the United board again and say how atrociously bad they are. It makes total sense to say that. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new, bottom right hand corner, and keep sharing the video. We've got nearly 7,000 people watching, which is great. I think there's a lot of interest in this game today. The rebirth of Mourinho in the Premier League. Spurs fight back starts here. Can Spurs get top 4? I look at Spurs top 4 and I think ultimately it comes down to keeping players fit. People like Son, people like Harry Kane. If either of those two get injured, what have they got? I don't think they have huge options, do they? So that might be something that they had. Llorente last year. If Harry Kane gets injured, you play Llorente. They don't really have that this year. And if Mourinho wants to play with width, like he clearly does, have they got players that if Son gets injured, who plays on the left? You know, they're a bit like United in those 3 positions. And I think that's where Mourinho likes to play with width, and I don't think Pochettino did, so it was never really a problem. Lucas Moura would be on the bench, he'd play Son and Kane in the front two positions, but if you want to play width, because Mourinho likes his wingers to support his fullbacks and then burst forward, Spurs haven't got enough wide players. Mark, do a watch along for one of the Carry On films, says Gold Peace Prosperity. I absolutely hate Carry On films. And Neil Hooley says Jose's got a point to prove. Exactly. Kay Fitzgerald says, I'm sure you're a Tottenham fan. I'm a Liverpool fan. I'm a Tottenham fan. I'm a Man City fan. I'm a Chelsea fan. Basically what happens is this is a channel for everybody, and I just talk about the football I'm watching. I don't have a bias towards any club other than Manchester United, but this channel is for everybody. So I do talk. I'm a Forest fan as well, Fred. Yep, you're right. So, or actually, just I'm a fan of football that can just zone in on a certain game and talk about it like a lot of you can. Did you see where Lukaku said Ollie wanted to play him in the wing? That's why he left. Ollie is clueless, says Alexio Fighter. Oh, well, I think Lukaku's clueless as well. So, yeah, I think Lukaku's got a very high opinion of himself when I just think he's bang average. Lincoln Designs TV says, to be fair, Spurs have got a far better squad than United. Well, they have, but United's squad is more expensive. We pay way more in wages. So who's the idiot there? And Nick P says, whether Jose is successful or not, all their major victories will be hollow ones. We'll never forget our Europa League win, and him celebrating on his own, encourage wildly, will be his show till the end. Oh, it's Mourinho. Mourinho, whatever. Chelsea fans will agree with this. Real Madrid, Inter, United fans. It's the Mourinho show. It's not. He is Spurs manager, and you can be part of that discussion, but it's Mourinho. That's what makes him what he is. Aaron Heckmart has just got his 5 Cantonars Christmas jumper. Says it's top quality. That's come quick. Well done, Aaron. And thanks for getting it. If you want to get a 5 Cantonars jumper from the United stand, the link's in the video description of our second to last upload or the 8 o'clock video tonight. So they're doing what you can get this one there as well. Let's have a look how we're doing for subscribers, because I think this game is done and dusted, isn't it? Oh, God, I feel so tired and I've got to do loads of driving yet. We've hit 104,000 subscribers, which is great. So thanks everyone who is subscribing. You can do that through the bottom right-hand corner. Our next watch-along will be PSG versus Real Madrid on Tuesday night. And then we're looking on Wednesday at doing 2. Chelsea versus Valencia at 6 o'clock. And then Liverpool versus Napoli at 8 o'clock. So subscribe. Everybody is welcome. We'll also be doing a bit of FIFA next week as well, of course. Bit of a chance there for Antonio, but he shoots it straight at Gazzaniga. And it remains 3-0. I tell you what, I'd eat my shoes, and I'm not even wearing any. And Harry Kane's in here to make it 4. What a tackle that was. It looked a bit two-footed to me, but it's a good recovery tackle from Agbona. Harry Kane was in, and I think he just took a little bit too long with that one. Z says this is not Jose, this is just a Tottenham team that's trying with 5.5 years momentum from Poch. It's interesting, isn't it? as I said, I think Mourinho will sleep well tonight and he'll have a smile on his face because his next game in the league is against Bournemouth at home. You win that and then you get yourself ready for that game at Old Trafford. And I think he would love 6 points going into that game. And I tell you what, there's so much football. United have got 3 games before they play that Spurs game, but I just can't wait for that game. I can't wait for it. I think it's going to be absolutely riveting. And I just hope that Amazon don't screw it up. Because remember, if you're in the UK, the only way to watch United versus Spurs is through Amazon Prime because they've got the rights to that game. Somebody messaged me the other day and said it's on BT. It's not on BT. You can't be on BT and on Amazon because it's like having a game on BT and Sky. Amazon Prime have got the rights to it. So it's going to be on Amazon Prime, but I'm concerned about that because you're streaming it through Tinternet, really, aren't you? And you know how delayed they can be. So I think that it's not on Sky Sports as well. It's on Amazon Prime. It's not on Sky Sports. It's like the Boxing Day fixtures. They're only on Amazon Prime. They've got all of them. And they've got all of those midweek games as well in the UK. So I just hope that the speeds are good. Who is the better player, Declan Rice or Eric Dyer, says Sabisi? Well, I think that's the end of the argument for me. Neither of them come to United. Oscar, yeah, 100%. Well, we do every United game as a watch along on the United stand, so we'll definitely be doing that. What's that there? Haaland can't come now. 30 million buyout and pit stop at Leipzig first, says Johan Anderson. I don't know what that means actually. Dele Alli has had a good game today, Connor. I've got to hold my hand up and say that Dele Alli has had a really good game. He looks like a totally different player. And I think that reflects badly on Dele Alli, doesn't it? Because it's a bit like Lingard. If we got Mourinho back, would Lingard suddenly have a good game? It's like, surely the players got to take some responsibility themselves there. Why have you been so bad for so long? And then suddenly you get a new manager who gives you a kick up the arse and you suddenly play well. It's, I think football fans, we become too lenient on players. I'd be actually angry with Dele Alli if I was a Spurs fan. I'd be like, why have you been so shit for so long? Then Mourinho comes in and you play like, you're playing like you're on bloody Red Bull. It's not an excuse. It's not an excuse. Oh, he's probably off to Red Bull Leipzig first, says Zakim Lucien. Yeah, because he's at Salzburg at the moment, isn't he? Yeah. I see what you mean. And that would be a good move for him to go to Germany first. Valdini says that Spurs are playing quality football. Well, let's not pretend they didn't play quality football under Pochettino. I mean, let's not pretend that they were Tony Pulis' Stoke. They were a good footballing side under Pochettino. They just lacked consistency and effort, I think, at the end, didn't they? And Stephen Diak, I think, gets it spot on. He says, these Spurs players are trying now, and like when Poch was in charge, I would be pissed off with Ali. Mark, do a fart. That was for the charity stream. I was tired and let my morals disappear. I don't need one anyway either at the moment. Ewan Vickers says that Dele Alli is miles better than Lingard on his day. You're probably miles better than Lingard on your day. I mean, he's awful. Yeah, great numbers watching, says Sally Devil Red 7. Yeah, we've got over 6,000 watching, which is great. So we do lots of watch-alongs on here, so make sure you subscribe and join us in the future. Our next one is going to be PSG versus Real Madrid, or you can join me on the United stand tomorrow for Sheffield United versus United. Obviously, I do all the United games on the United stand because that is my club. And is Lingy 27 already past his peak, says Gold Peace Prosperity? I think the problem is we don't know what his peak bloody was. Did he just have a blip of good form for 2 months and the rest of it's been shit? And Jays says Mark can't stand Mourinho because they are the same personality. They both think they're better than everyone else. Well, again, you're jumping on a misapprehension there because I actually do like Mourinho. I've said this many a time. I like Mourinho when he's not managing my club. I agree he's box office. I agree that he's interesting. I just don't like him talking about United because he messed it up. And I didn't like him having as manager at Manchester United. But if he's managing somebody else, I think he's a very interesting person to watch, and I actually do quite like him. I'm not interested in anything he's got to say about United because he messed up, and I wouldn't want him managing my club, and that's it. But I don't dislike him. Will Pellegrini get the sack? Space Dogs has made a contribution. He says, I think the different club anthems have a huge effect on teams. I'm a Liverpool fan and You'll Never Walk Alone is a massive rallying call in a way that I'm Forever Blown Bubbles never could be, or Blue Moon, or Z Cars. Yeah, it's a good point. It is a good point. But then again, you could flip it around and say, well, why haven't Liverpool won a title for 30 years? They play half the games at Anfield with that ringing out. So you've still got to have the right players in the team, haven't you, to, who've got the quality and ability to rise to the occasion. Have a good one later, mate, with True Geordie and all the group. Some decent 3 p.m.s today. Will there be a later United stand tonight by the time you get home, or are you taking a break tonight? Humi, there's a video going up on the United stand at 8 o'clock. It's not a live video. It's a video about United's top 5 midfield transfer targets based on who's available and who. So, yeah, give it a watch at 8 o'clock. It's going up then. Come on, West Ham, says Zayn Miassi. Well, there's a free kick here that Cresswell's going to take. He scored, didn't he, against... he scored a free kick against United. Was that this season or last season? I think it was this year, wasn't it? And the wall did its job there. It's blasted somebody in the face. I think it might be Harry Kane. The one man who won't suffer from bad looks. Yeah, he actually headed it. It's hit me in the face. It hit me in the face. It hit me in the face. Oh, it hit me in the nose. Oh, it hit me in the face. I'll be alright. Just give me some water and drink. Oh, where am I? Oh, where am I? Oh, I'm at West Ham. Are we winning? We're 3-0. Would you take Rafa at Manchester United, Neil Hooley? God, no. God, no. Are we alright in a minute? Are we alright in a minute? Thoughts on BBC's old puppet show, Special on TV, says Gold Peace Prosperity. And Liberty Buanali says, Ollie is not to blame. These players we have are average, and when they are under pressure, they don't perform at all. They fold. It's not a United spirit, so Ollie needs a revamp with time. Give him time! Give him time! We're back in 1989. Ericsson's coming on. He's having a chat with Mourinho. They don't seem to be being moody at all. Oh, my Harry Kane impression got good rave reviews there. Well, I'm very pleased because they're normally shit. Who scored the goals, says Lewis Davies. Son, an own goal by Cresswell and Harry Kane. It's 3-0. Do you think... I know it's a bit of a boring question, but do you think that West Ham will sack Pellegrini? I don't know that there is much of an appetite to sack him, is there? I mean, it's like, what are West Ham? Like, what do West Ham think that they are? You're a Premier League club that's probably not going to go down. Are they a top half club, or are they a club that sort of that lives between the relegation zone and mid-table? Good block. Mark Noble. Oh, what a goal! That's a cracking goal by Antonio. And whoever said 3-1, if it stays like this, you've got your score, and Mourinho will be pissed off because he loves a clean sheet. But Antonio absolutely blasts that in to make it 3-1. West Ham was sort of knocking on the door a little bit. Cross came in. They retained the pressure. Mark Noble picking it up. And Antonio just blasting it home. Keeper can do nothing. And that is 3-1. And I think Mourinho will now park the bus. You get that? Get that bus and get it parked in front of that goal. I need to win. And he will be, be a bit disappointed about that. A bit disappointed about that. And Spurs have got another player here injured. Ben Davis. So Danny Rose is going to come on. And Spurs are a little bit like United, aren't they? They do pick up a lot of injuries. I've noticed that. They get a lot of injuries as well. Here comes the story of the hurricane. Can you do a Bane impression, Sasame? Oh, I don't think so.
No, they're not the guys I'm looking for. Batman. I don't think you want to say that, did you, Batman? I'm Bane. I'm Harry Bane. Get me the ball, Danny Honey. I'm Harry Bane.
That's about as good as it gets. Charlton 2, Cardiff 2. There's a lot of love for Declan Rice in the live comments. Are you meant to be a moose? Yeah, it did sound a bit like a moose, to be fair. They've got one of those at the Christmas German market in Birmingham, actually, and that's where I got the impression from. It's not Bane, it's the Christmas moose from the German market. Rice is good enough for United. Why don't you like him, says Ewan Vickers. I just think he's crap. I got to be honest with you. I think he is crap. That's my feeling. God, West Ham, that's a really interesting stat. West Ham have scored 21 goals between 61 and 75 minutes, and every other period of they've scored half the amount of goals. So that's when West Ham are their most dangerous, between 61 and 75 minutes in a game. It's interesting how stats like that can tell a story, isn't it? But I'll tell you what, with 76 minutes on the clock, if West Ham could get another one, it would be quite interesting. It'd be interesting how much work Spurs have put into this game and whether they've got anything left. That would be a new Mourinho, wouldn't it? If they went 3-0 up and ended up drawing 3-3, that would be very un-Mourinho-like. So, but I don't think West Ham have got those goals in them, to be honest with you. We've had a super chat from Humi. He says, West Ham is not a sacking club usually, but Pellegrino is walking on a tightrope. Once the fans turn, spent a lot of money in 2 years, and they seem to be getting worse. West Ham are very bad. I think it's very hard to be competitive in the Premier League, though, isn't it? Because, you know, there's only so many spots, and Leicester are that team that's sort of surprising people. You know, the top six are the traditional top six. Everton's, Leicester's, that's 8. Then you've got Wolves, 9. Then you're mid-table, basically, aren't you? So it's very difficult for these teams like West Ham's and the Evertons, I suppose, to really break through and define themselves. I think they are teams that hang around that mid-table, and that, in its own ways, is not necessarily a bad thing. Gaming with Emmanuel is back. How do you get the 5 Cantona's jumper? Check out the video on the United stand tonight, and I'll put the link in the video description for you. It is, if you go on the United stand, it's on. It wasn't on last night's video, and it's not on the Andy Cole video, but it's definitely on 3 or 4 videos ago. It's in the link in the video description, but I'll put it on the one tonight. Mark, I've asked Santa for Pochettino and Bruno Fernandes to come to Arsenal, says Zayn Miassi. I'm amazed that you're an Arsenal fan and you would take an ex-Spurs manager. I mean, but then again, you did say you would take Mourinho as an ex-United manager, so. Dele Alli's going off with 12 minutes to go. She was only 17 years old, says Mahia H. Svarndeep Gosh says, we will surely win the league next year under Ollie. We will buy Sancho, Maddison, Koulibaly, Alaba, Kimmich, Kane and Eriksen. 2 years later, we will buy Mbappe and Neymar and win the Champions League. Ollie in. Yeah. The thing is, United actually do have the sort of revenues to have done those sort of things over the last 10 years, but we've got owners who don't want to do those sort of things. And to be honest with you, we can all joke about signing those sort of players, but United actually do need to sign about 6 or 7 players. So Eriksen's on now, but it's interesting as well. He's took Dele Alli off for Eriksen, and they're still a very attacking side with Lucas Moura, Son, Kane, Eriksen. So it's not a defensive coach. Mika says, how about Emil Forsberg to United? I think he would go for Robert Skoff from Hoffenheim. He is a brilliant young player at 23. I think Forsberg is the Swedish player and he's good, but I think he's about 28 now, so he's getting on a bit. Luke Shaw's not back for tomorrow, Ethan. He's back in training, but he's just not match fit. I think that will be the case with Twansebi and Matic as well. Shot there straight at the keeper from the free kick. I am doing a City versus Chelsea watch along, Connor, but not on this channel because I have got to get into a car in a minute and drive down to London to go on the True Geordie kickoff for that. So I will be doing a watch along, but it will be on the kickoff. I've been invited on there. They've had me back. So looking forward to that. And Mark, do you ever wonder who's behind Goldbridge World? They literally analyse your every word and clip it instantly. It's funny but mildly creepy. Well, let's have a look. I haven't looked at it. Because with the international break, you sort of stop looking at stuff like that. But we're back now. And I know who's behind it anyway. To answer the question. It's my mum.
The guys I'm looking for.
Oh, he's got me. They've done my Harry. They've done.
They're not the guys I'm looking for. Batman. I don't think you want to say that, did you, Batman? I'm Bane. I'm
It's actually quite good. That's actually quite good. I might even give it a retweet myself. So it's always a bit cringe when you watch yourself back, isn't it? But that wasn't bad as far as my impressions go. That was not one of the worst I've done. So thanks for whoever asked me to do it. I will never. The thing about me is, though, if somebody asks me to do an impression, I'll do it. It's probably going to be shit, but even if I manage to make it good, I'll never remember how to do it again anyway. So that was a once in a lifetime. Imto says you are cringe, and yet you are watching. So the deed is done. You've lost, and I can do a cracking Chewbacca impression, says Neil Hooley. I was going to, for a moment then I said go on then, and then I realised that would be thick. Because how would that work? Would I take Julian Nagelsmann, says Callas. Ollie's the manager at the moment. There is a disrespectful element to saying anything else. He is the manager at the moment. And that is the situation. And anything else is just pie in the sky, so to speak. Did you see Manchester United's women's result? Says Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I'm going to be absolutely honest with you and say, I don't watch it. I don't watch it. So we've got about 5 minutes left in this game. I've seen the doctor, man, she's cute. I will spare rage. Just seeing how long it's going to take me to get where I've got to go. I'm hoping traffic's not going to be too bad, but you just never know. 2 hours. That's about right. We can do that. We can do that. I'm 6 foot, SRB. That's how big is thee. I'm 6 foot. Do I think that Jose was a failure at Manchester United because of lack of funding, says Malahan? No, I don't. And I think, look, I think people need to stop looking back and start looking forward. Jose Mourinho wanted to bring Jerome Boateng in the summer. Look at Mourinho there on his hands and knees. He's an overactor, look. Harry Kane getting into a bit of trouble. Nothing's going on. He wanted Jerome Boateng. So, do I think that that's the right sort of player that United should have been brought and would have made a big difference to our season? No, I don't. So the Mourinho thing ended. He said at the end of the day, I probably deserve to get the sack. You move on. Gordon Desmond says that Mourinho is buying Varane. I think he would love to get Varane. I think he would like to have got Varane at United, to be honest. But I don't know whether Varane would leave. Thanks, Hardeep Singh. He's just bought the red adored top from United Stand. Check them out on the United Stand video tonight. You can get your jumpers. I like this one. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I like this design. You can get the Christmas jumper of the 5 Cantonars. Mark Lim says, who do you support? I'm surprised we've got somebody on this channel who doesn't know who I am and who I support. It's exciting, that, isn't it, when people find this channel and don't know about the United Stand. But I'm a Manchester United fan who runs the United Stand, which is Manchester United's biggest fan channel on YouTube. I am 6 foot, CC. Unless I've shrunk in the last 2 hours, I am bang on 6 foot. And have been since I was 16. I haven't seen the Matt Busby film yet, no, Hursty, MUFC. It is on my list to watch. What car do you drive, says Kyle? A Porsche. I don't really. I would never do that. I'm not that sort of pretentious. We've now got people in the live comments saying I'm 5'10" and stuff like that. I mean, like, you don't know me, and also, when have you bloody measured me? I know me, I am me, and I know how tall I've been for the last 20 years. Michael Oliver with the assist, nearly there. Now, if West Ham could get a goal now, it would be interesting. They won't, though. Cross will get cleared. And we go. And that's a corner for West Ham. Mark, are you going to play a back five tomorrow? Says Haunted Radio. I really hope that we don't. I really hope that we don't. I did see what Antonio Conte said about Inter players and their bedroom life and how if they were going to have sex, the woman should be going on top. I mean, look. West Ham have made it 3-2. Or is it offside? Or is it given? It's been given, which means we're going to get a barnstorming finish here, and it's Declan Rice. And the linesman's kept his flag down. And VAR will look at this. Well, he's offside. Declan Rice is definitely offside. 100%. And he puts it in as well. So this will not be given. It's offside. Yeah, you don't need to go to VAR for that. It will not be 3-2. It will get ruled out. It says 3-2 at the moment, but it will be 3-1. And that, to be honest, that is where I can't moan about VAR there, because that is where VAR is spot on. Because if that was last season, we'd all be going crazy saying it was offside, and that would have been given. The linesman's not seen it, the ref's not seen it. That would have been a goal last season, and the reality is, it definitely was offside. So, yeah, it sort of ruins it a little bit, doesn't it? But it was definitely offside. Bubbles must be the happiest in the world because they keep blowing him, says Mario A. And we've got 6 minutes added on, which I don't know where they've come from, but we've definitely got 6 minutes to be added on. Be another corner for West Ham. There's still time if they get one back. Additional 6 minutes, you're right.
First bit of the Cantona one of 300 quid. Everything starts here. Talent alone is not enough. The constant need to improve.
Bit of Andy Cole there, look. Andy Cole on the United Stand. If you've not seen that video, that's up on the United Stand. Go and give it a watch after this. Andy Cole on the United Stand talking about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Bubbles must be the happiest in the world because they keep blowing... Yeah, I've read that one. And Just put $200 on United to beat Sheffield United. It's if static. I mean, Matic plays, my money is gone. We will lose the game if he plays. Garner in. Screw it. I am on the kickoff, Joel. If I can get down there through traffic, yes, I am. To be honest with you, going back to that Inter Milan thing, if my manager was telling me that I can't do a woman from behind, and I say woman, I'm not being sexist, I'm not going to do a man from behind because that doesn't rock my boat. I've got nothing against people who do, but it's always going to be a woman. Then I would say, yeah, I only ever do it with her on top, but I just, what's he going to do? Film me? That's illegal. So Conte can literally stick it up his own arse because he can say that you can't have sex in many different positions, but how's he going to know? How is he going to know? And what goes on in the bedroom stays in the bedroom. The wife can keep her mouth shut. If I was a professional footballer for Inter Milan, there we go. And there's nothing wrong with the woman going on top. It's very good. Very good. But a bit of variety would, 9 months of them going on top. Come on. You've got to mix it up in the bedroom. Or the shower. Or the kitchen. Or the car. Why should it always be in the bedroom? Imagine if you went into training with Conte and you said, last night we did it. We did the eagle in the back of a Morris Minor. You'd go mad. What? With all that confined space doing the eagle? What are you doing? You could have pulled your hamstring. I pulled something, Tony, you know what I mean? You're having some of that, you know what I mean? I definitely pulled something. Well, somebody else pulled something, if I'm honest. Yeah, it's too far, isn't it? Anyway, imagine, Lukaku probably has to, when Lukaku's having sex, he probably has to lie down and let the girl go on top. Because if he starts trying to take control of the situation, God knows where it's going to end up. Up the wrong hole. Or the right one, you never know. What's this got to do with the Spurs game, says Sam Popel. Sorry, I didn't realise we had really serious football addicts in here. Well, it's 3-1, Sam, with a minute and a half to go. So I think it's safe to say we can venture into non-football conversation for a few seconds because this game is done. Good first win for Jose Mourinho, of course. He'd be very happy with that. And I think that it's a good win. They've got Bournemouth next week. They win that. And then we've got that huge game, United versus Spurs. I don't know that Spurs are better than they were under Pochettino. They needed to make that change. I think this is a game that Spurs might not have won today with Pochettino because it had run its course there. What I do like about Mourinho's Spurs is I don't think they've been devastatingly brilliant. West Ham have been the better team in the last half an hour. But I like the fact that he's playing with width now. He needs another winger, though, because if Son or Moura get injured, who's going to play on the wing for them? So I think that's problem number one for Mourinho. He's got to get some width. Well, they've got Sessegnon, but is he ready? I don't know. He seems to be injured a lot. So, and West Ham nearly scored again there, but they've got a corner. Yes, so I will be on the kickoff from around 5 o'clock. I'm going to get in the car now, drive myself down there, and I'll be there for 5 to get on that. But they are doing a 3 o'clock kickoff with Blue Van Man, covering all the 3 o'clock kickoffs if you want to watch that as well. And then I will be on there as well. There will be an 8 o'clock show on the United Stand as well. But make sure you subscribe to this channel, get involved. Thanks everyone who's tuned in. Really, really interesting game. And Mourinho gets off to a win, doesn't he? So there we go. And West Ham have just made it 3-2, actually, from a corner. And that one will be given. So I think Mourinho, it's interesting, isn't it? It's been a very good game. And it's been a good win for Mourinho. But ultimately, they've won by 1 goal. So, and you just felt if there was another 10 minutes in this game, West Ham might have got a draw out of it. So for all the brilliance of Mourinho, and that guy with the bet, you got to feel sorry for that. But for all the brilliance of Mourinho today, they get over the line 3-2. Thanks everyone for watching. I will see you later on the kickoff. And the United Stand is going up at 8 o'clock. Speak to you all soon. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And thanks for joining me.